what might be in store for the Ducks in 1993. Well, Walt, we went down to Shreveport, Louisiana with very high hopes. The Ducks in a bowl game for the third time in 4 years, and it looked like Oregon was going to come away with its second victory in those bowl games, but Wake Forest was very inspired in the second half, and they actually ended up steamrolling the Ducks in that third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, once the old momentum changes sides, it's hard to stop, and the Ducks with a halftime lead, they got it up to 19 points in the third quarter, and then things just shifted.
I think we thought when the score was 29-10 that this was over, and unfortunately, I think the players maybe felt that way as well.
Yeah, you could almost just feel the momentum switch sides at that point, and Wake Forest made some big plays and the Ducks didn't.
Yeah, Wake Forest was very impressive. They came in with a record of 7-4, having won 5 in a row during one point during the course of the season. The Ducks kind of an up and down season, and as you will see in the highlights and you'll also hear from the players, the game was a mirror image of the entire season. Let's get into it as the Ducks get ready for Wake Forest. It was a determined band of Ducks that stepped off the bus for the 17th Independence Bowl. After a one-year absence, Oregon was back in a bowl game, this time against Wake Forest.
They're going fast. Game program, $3.
Following a 6-5 regular season, the Ducks were happy to head south in late December. With their third bowl bid in 4 years, they joined only 23 other programs which have accomplished the same feat during that span of time. In their second trip to Shreveport, the Ducks had won over the locals, including the Independence Bowl queen and her court.
We're rooting for Oregon. I am.
Overcast skies, temperature in the mid-60s, and 93% humidity, a factor that would play a role in this game. Across the field, the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. Coach Bill Dooley in his final game. After taking the opening kickoff at their own 20, the Deeks open up the offense on the second play. Quarterback Keith West found receiver Todd Dixon behind Alex Molden. Dixon was caught from behind, but not after a gain of 60 and a first down at the Oregon 18. 5 plays later, tailback John Leach plowed into the end zone, and Wake Forest had scored with only 2 minutes, 27 seconds off the clock. The Ducks responded with a touchdown drive of their own. Starting at their own 27, they set about to tie the game. On 3rd and 1, quarterback Danny O'Neill hit tight end Vince Ferry for 14 yards and a first down. For the first time in the game, Oregon was in Wake Forest territory. On the next play, tailback Sean Burwell broke over the right side, made a couple of moves, cut behind the block of Anthony Jones, and bolted 40 yards for the score. 7 plays, 3:12 off the clock, and the game was tied at 7-7. Wake Forest on the move again, but on 2nd and 10, West was turned back by the Oregon secondary. Senior Eric Castle with his first interception of the season, the 12th of his illustrious career, tying him for 6th on the all-time Oregon list. After stopping Wake Forest once, the defense decided to score on its own. With time running out in the first quarter, cornerback Herman O'Berry stripped the ball, hauled it in, and scampered 24 yards to pay dirt, and the Ducks led for the first time 13-7. After the first 15 minutes, the Ducks had seized the momentum and the lead. After a Wake Forest field goal made it 13-10, O'Berry and company came up with a big play. O'Berry knocked the ball loose and recovered his second fumble of the game, this time giving the offense great field position at the Deke 10. 3 plays netted only 6 yards, and Tommy Thompson was wide right on a 21-yard field goal attempt, stunning the first-team All-Pac-10 place kicker. But the defense was riding high at this point. The next play from scrimmage, defensive end Troy Bailey deflected the pitch. Linebacker Ernest Jones scooped it up. The Ducks were back in business at the Wake Forest 8-yard line. This time, the offense would not be denied. On 3rd and goal from the 4, O'Neill hit Ferry for 6. The point after was blocked, but Oregon was in the driver's seat, 19-10. With the Demon Deacons reeling, the defense continued to apply pressure. West, who struggled in the second quarter, took a 12-yard loss. The heat applied by Romeo Bandison. The offense was going to get the ball back and needed a good punt return for field position. As he has all season long, Ronnie Harris responded. Cutting to his left, sprinting to the sideline, his 22-yard effort placed the ball at the 30. Thompson completed the wild first half with a 48-yard field goal, and after the first 30 minutes of play, it was Oregon 22, Wake Forest 10. Tommy Thompson's field goal gave Oregon a 22-10 lead. You look at the statistics in the first half, and despite Wake Forest having more yardage, Oregon had the big lead, in large part to the fact that they did not commit a turnover. Wake Forest turned the ball over 4 times. Third down conversions, Oregon 3 of 8. Wake Forest was 3 and 7. And Walt, you looked at the first half, and even though Oregon offensively did not play well, I think we all thought that with a 22-7 lead or 22-10 lead, that the defense would be able to hold on to that.
Yeah, how many times this season or in the past couple years have we seen the opponents get a touchdown early and then the Ducks come back nicely like they did? They had the lead, and you would think that the Oregon defense, as strong as they played this year, would have been able to hold that lead.
But it didn't work out that way. When we come back, we'll have the second half highlights. The Ducks leading Wake Forest 22-10.
Up 22-10 at halftime. The sun was shining. It was warm in Shreveport, and it looked like it was going to be a great day for the Ducks.
And the third quarter even started out good as well. You felt that it was going to be a blowout, but it wasn't.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the second half.
Second half, and it looks like the Ducks are going to make it a rout. Alex Molden picks off the pass at the 8. He walks in for the score. 9:44 left in the third, and the Ducks have a 19-point lead, 29-10. But then momentum started to change. Keith West to John Henry Mills. He takes it down to the 1 before Chad Cota makes the stop. They score one play later, and it's 29-17. Meanwhile, the Oregon offense couldn't get anything going. Reverse to Derek Deadweiler, goes nowhere. The Ducks had just 35 yards of offense in the third quarter. Just before the end of the quarter, Wake Forest goes 79 yards in just 4 plays. West hits Dixon for the score. It's 29-24. Ducks lead is down to 3 after 3. Fourth quarter, and here's the big play of the game. Bobby Jones on the fake end around, fires deep and hits Dixon. The play covers 61 yards, and Wake Forest is in front to stay, 32-29. They got one more midway through the fourth quarter. John Leach takes it in from the 6 to make it 29 straight points and a 39-29 Wake Forest lead. The Ducks get one back late in the game. O'Neal pumps and then fires to the corner of the end zone. Ronnie Harris makes a great diving catch for the score. The Wake Forest DB doesn't think so, but take another look. You can see that Harris, well, he gets the benefit of the call. The Ducks trail 39-35. They go for 2 and don't make it. So with about a minute to play, it's Wake Forest by 4. The Ducks try an onside kick, but Wake Forest recovers and they run out the clock. Final score, Wake Forest 39-35 over the Ducks.
So let's take a look at the final statistics. There you see the score. Wake Forest wins at 39-34. First downs, Oregon 23-18. Total offense, Wake Forest 516 yards. That breaks the bowl game record set by the Ducks back in 1989. And an amazing statistic, 516 yards total offense, 6 turnovers. And they come up with the win. The Ducks 7 of 18 on third downs. Wake Forest 6 of 14. The Ducks managed, well, just 112 yards rushing in the game, and that was a big statistic. Now let's take, after the game, we talked with some of the Ducks about what happened.
It probably goes along with the UCLA loss. It kind of mirrored our season. We had great play at some times, and we had very average or poor play at others in this game, as we did in the season. And we need to be a more consistent team. I think we knew that coming into this game, and I hope that we could get more consistency today, but we didn't.
I didn't really sense a letdown, but after a while, I think, you know, it got to everybody, and that's what happens. You know, when you let things like that happen, you know, get to you, and you don't respond to the adversity, then you won't win the game.
It was a pinball machine for a while there. I mean, they made something like anything they did worked. The second half, their offense came alive, and the defense shut us down. Our offense, I think our offense didn't show up to play as much as we could have today, and it's tough.
We started off strong, and then no one came in the second half. Offense didn't come. defense played well. I think defense played well the whole game. Just offense couldn't score no points. I mean, we could have put a lot of points on the board and we didn't do it.
I think the breakdown came when the tight end, tight end coming across the middle. Then also the trick plays. The trick plays really hurt us.
The trick plays, the alumni plays, as Coach Brooks liked to refer to those as. The Ducks tried one, too. They tried a reverse. It didn't work. Wake Forest just seemed to, when they rolled the dice, it came up right.
And I heard that I was told before the game the Ducks had several of them in the game plan this time, but they didn't come up in situations where they could use them.
So a tough loss for Oregon as they lose to Wake Forest 39-35. Coming up in just a bit, we'll take a look at the future. But before that, we'll hear from some of the Oregon fans. They had a great time down in Shreveport if the team did not. But everybody that we seem to talk to, Walt, had more than a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Good would be an understatement.
It's hard not to have a good time in the South in Shreveport around a situation like the bowl game.
The people down there treat you so well. The pep rally, Coach Brooks said at the pep rally, he felt the pep rally was better the second time than it was the first time, and a lot of people thought that when they went down there the first time, that was the most fun they'd ever had. So the fans definitely had a lot of good times.
Yeah, the fans in 1989 made a big impression on the people in Shreveport. Not as many made the trip south this time, but those that did, well, they had a great time.
A whole flock of ducks made the trip south to Shreveport. The first of the booster planes arrived on Tuesday. Fans decked out, ready to show their colors and record the adventure for later viewing back home. The first big event was the Minuteman Luncheon on Wednesday. Fans got a chance to see the players and share their Oregon spirit. They also got a chance to hear the coaches heap praise on their opponent.
Ducks, we got our hands full. Let's get ready for it.
Thank you, Rich. Rich Brooks, ladies and gentlemen.
Wednesday night was a big pep rally and battle of the bands. It was no contest. Oregon won, hands down. The hot item in Shreveport, duck lips. Fans quacked along with the band. They also got a chance to see one of the worst Elvis impersonators in history. Finally, Thursday morning and it's game day. While they got the stadium ready for Duck fans, outside concession stands were doing a brisk business.
Oregon's going fast. Oregon's going real quick. Real quick.
What are you selling most of?
Oregon hats and T-shirts. The hottest seller of the game. That was right here.
Coach Brooks, on his way to a pregame pep rally, looked for a little divine guidance with the game plan. The pregame rally was another chance for fans to show their colors and get fired up.
I want to thank you, all of you, for our team and our coaches for coming to Shreveport to support this team. It means a great deal to us.
And Oregon fans left no doubt who they thought would win.
I have a lot of faith in our boys, and I think they're going to win and beat their butts.
Program!
Finally, game time. Find your seat and start quacking. Duck fans came from all over the state and in all kinds of headgear. One couple even used the game as an excuse for a honeymoon.
We got married at 9:30.
And all that Oregon spirit translated into a 22-10 halftime lead. So it was out to the parking lot for a little halftime tailgating and a Louisiana delicacy.
Cochon de lait. South Louisiana pig. Did you say? Sumptuous. Yeah, I cut it for this gentleman right here holding the camera. This man come from Oregon to eat some of this Louisiana pig. Okay.
It was pretty good, but now back to the game. Third quarter, things start to go sour for the Ducks, and so the fans try their best to rally the troops. The game didn't turn out like the Oregon fans wanted, but afterwards there was no question who the heroes were.
Yeah, regardless of the game, I think everybody that made the trip had a pretty good time.
You know, I finally figured out what went wrong. Elvis gave the halftime locker room talk. Maybe he was bad the night before, and maybe he was bad in the halftime locker room as well.
He was easily the low point of the week.
I think Elvis turned over in fact, Elvis may come back just to get rid of that guy. All righty, when we come back, we'll take a look at what's in store for the Ducks in 1993, so stay with us.
After the rare miss from in close, Rich Brooks watches Tommy Thompson connect from long range, a 48-yarder. And Oregon has its largest lead, 12 points at 22-10.
The future for the Ducks, it looks pretty bright as well. But before we talk about the future, it was
oriented for the players. I think they're going to focus on something now because there's a feeling of incompletion, and we need to come back, obviously work hard, because we didn't accomplish everything we wanted to do, and you know, we're not going to have too many different players. So physically and mentally, we need to be better than we were today.
I just have to go in the off season and think about making it to a bigger bowl. Not necessarily a better bowl, because this was a great bowl, but it's a little incentive to work harder at times when you don't want to work hard because you know how it is to lose and how bad a defeat hurts.
I learned at the end of this season, I obviously learned it today, you know, this game is that far away from a couple more touchdowns, and if we got to learn that in the off season is where it starts, and that's how you narrow that margin. It goes to here when you leave this season, and then you can narrow it by the off season worth ethic, and I just hope this team has that.
Well, the Ducks were that close. Walt, you look back at this season, Hawaii, they have a chance to win the football game. They fumble at the Hawaii 20-yard line. They had other games where they could have played and won those games, so it was that close. And the question is, can this team make the next step? Let's start with the offense. Your evaluation.
Well, they have some key people coming back. The entire backfield pretty much. They've lose a couple of receivers, but they've got a lot of young guys who got some experience this year. The question is, how do they fit into it next year? Also, they lose Vince Ferry, but they've got Willie Tate at tight end, and they've got some linemen coming back, some young guys they redshirted. So it's a question of how these people are all going to fit together.
And you factor in some of the newcomers as well. We've talked in the past about Tony Graziani. He is going to push Danny O'Neill for playing time at the quarterback position. Dameron Ricketts, they are very high on his abilities as a wide receiver. I think when you look at the games Oregon played this year, in particular the Wake Forest game, the inability to get the ball deep, even to have the threat deep, hurt them because defenses shrunk the field, I thought. So they've got some improvement necessary on offense. Defensively, they only lose 3 starters. Eric Castle, the starting safety, is going to be missed. Joe Farwell is definitely going to be missed. And also, Jeff Cummins is going to be missed. But when you only lose 3, in years past, the last 6 years, the Ducks have proved that if they've lost some good people, they can replace them with good people. So I think the defense will be good. What about the kicking game?
Well, the kicking game, one name, Tommy Thompson, did it all this year. He'll do it all again next year, and so they're in great shape there. Hopefully, Tommy will be able to build on the year he had this year, and he'll be even that much better next season.
So the future certainly looks promising, and as we go to the final musical piece of the day, we'd like to give you the sights and sounds of Shreveport, along with some of the highlights as well.
Bye-bye.
Boy, it's early. It's time. Let's go. Lot of resistance the first time up. Would have been him. Would have been him. Holy moly.
all of you for our team and our coaches for coming to Shreveport to support this team.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Game program's $3.
Let's go, fellas. We got to take it to them, huh?
Well, it was a lot of fun. Better to have gone to a bowl and lost than not to have gone at all, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to diminish the season and the accomplishment by the fact that they did lose the game.
So that wraps up the 1992 season. The Ducks in the Independence Bowl. We'll see you next year, September 4th against Montana. For Walt Fox, I'm Todd McKim. Goodbye.